Loaded bases, Zack Hample. How's it going?
It's going all right. Just trying to enjoy the chillness of the off season for right now.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. So what is your role in the baseball industry? What do you do?
I am a full-time YouTuber. That's my main thing. I have little contact cards made up that I hand out to people sometimes, and it says professional baseball nerd under my name. So I guess maybe that's even the bigger umbrella term or category. But yeah, I make videos. I've written baseball books. I'm a super fan, I guess you could say.
I
And my
I would
claim to
agree.
fame is catching baseballs in the stands at games.
So yeah, I've been following you for going on 5-6 years now, and it's you came a long way since for 5 years. I mean, like I couldn't imagine like your like whole entire career catching baseballs.
Yeah, the last 5 years, really, that's when everything has happened. I remember that in April of 2016, I had 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I have over 500,000 now. So it really
It jumped.
it jumped. I mean, I'd never really taken it seriously before that, and then the A-Rod thing had
Yeah.
happened the year before when I snagged his 3,000th career hit. So that really just took things to another level. Pretty crazy.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, like, cause I even have a Zack Hample signed baseball that I don't think you
What?
see it. Yep, for Mason. Let's see, and your number was 10,163. That's where you were at then.
Okay, so that was probably early in the 2018 season.
Yep. It would have been uh, about right there, yeah. Cause I actually met you down in, Miami in 2018. It was a random thing, and I was watching your, YouTube videos, like, the night before, and I'm like, like, what if Zach comes down for, like, it was the old logo, um, game balls, and then, like, the next day, just boom. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you never know where I'm gonna be. I turn up everywhere.
Say
And yeah,
here oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say for people who don't know, I always autograph my name with my current lifetime number of baseballs after it. So I can kind of figure out, based on how the numbers change. And I remember, oh yeah, I got my 10,000th ball late in August in 2017. And I've been writing my name like that since high school. I mean, I signed my
Wow.
names on tests and papers with my lifetime number of baseballs when it was a triple digit number. And back when nobody ever cared about my autograph. And now,
Yeah.
people ask me to sign quite a bit, which I always think is quite an honor. So I've just kept that going through my whole life, really.
So, yeah, when did you realize that this is, like, what you wanted to do, like, for a living?
I stumbled into it. I never knew what I wanted to do, and I had all kinds of odd jobs. My family owns a big old bookstore in New York City, which my grandfather started in 1925. My
Oh,
mom has
wow.
worked there for 62 years or something like that, and she loves it. She's still working there. And that was always available for me if I wanted to make that my life and career. And while
Mhm.
it is truly a magical place, it just never felt like the kind of thing that was calling out to me in a way that I would need it to if I was going to spend that much time there. So I've worked there on and off over the years, and it was always a great safety net for me. When I was working doing baseball stuff during the season, and then I needed something to do in the off season, I'd work at the store, even during the season sometimes. So
Mhm.
that was always like part of what I did, but I was never satisfied whether I was there or anywhere else. And I've always I've always loved documenting things and storytelling in different forms. I feel like a natural performer, and I do enjoy having an audience.
Yeah.
And so, doing the YouTube thing really satisfies all of that. I would actually love to branch out from baseball and not just do that. But I mean, for right now, I'm sticking with what works. So we'll see what the future holds.
I wouldn't say yeah, it definitely works, for sure. I mean, you jumped a lot, like, on YouTube, and it's amazing.
It's pretty crazy.
Say what okay, so if you had to pick one baseball, which would be your favorite one that you have kept?
I will go with the last home run that the Mets ever hit at Shea Stadium.
Ooh,
Unfortunately, it was not the very last home run because the stupid Marlins hit 2 home runs late in the game after I caught the Carlos Beltran homer in, I think, this 5th or 6th inning on what turned out to be the last day at Shea. So that definitely dashed my hopes a little bit. I'm just sitting there like, please, nobody else hit a home run. And then they did, but still got the last Mets homer. And that was the absolute happiest I've ever been catching any baseball in my life. More than A-Rod's 3,000th hit, when I was just more stunned than anything, more than Trout's first career home run, because at the time he hadn't done anything and who would have
yeah.
known. So yeah, that last Mets home run at Shea is really the one that still stands out the most.
I think that would be amazing. I mean, it's like I mean, like, I've been probably, like, 5 people away, like, from a home run, like, this past year at Wrigley Field, and and then, just seeing the ball, like, come at me, and I'm like, "Holy shit, I'm gonna get this." And then I go and I miss it, but, I mean, like, the feeling of, like, just being, like, locked on, like, to the baseball, like, yeah, I guess, like, over time, like, so I guess, like, has that feeling, like, changed, or is it, like, the same feeling, like, every time that you see a baseball, like, come at you?
It's the same. My heart
Yeah.
still races every time a ball goes up in the air. Not in batting practice
Yeah.
so much, when you can more or less expect that balls are going to be flying in your direction somewhat often. But during games, even a foul ball goes up in the air, and I mean, I get just intense heart palpitations.
Yeah.
And then, of course, game home runs are the ultimate thrill. So, I still get very, very excited about this stuff. Absolutely.
Say, do you think that people, like, I guess, like, interpret you, like, for, like, what you do?
Oh yeah.
How do you deal with that?
I try to keep living my life
Yeah.
and just doing what I do because I know that it's positive, and pretty much anybody who meets me or watches my stuff will see what I'm all about. And I try to address the haters sometimes. I tune a lot of
Yeah.
it out, but when there are false accusations flying my way, I try to set the record straight. A lot of you knock kids down and you steal baseballs, and it's like, no, I actually don't. It's been reported that I'm banned from 3 stadiums, which is not true. I've been to every stadium in a single season, 4 different seasons. Like, I'm definitely
That's
not banned.
wild.
So I try to set the record straight, but when things get reported in the media and then linked on my Wikipedia page, and then it just gets repeated forever, like that's really a bummer. But yeah, according to the internet, I've done a lot of bad things, but in reality, I've done I've done stupid things, and I wish I could take back a lot of stuff that I've said, but I don't think I've done bad things.
Yeah, see, I have always wanted to live like the I don't regret things. It's just I mean, it's like, you know what, like, shit happens, and that's
Yeah,
just called life.
yeah, but when you have a lot of people out there watching your every move, and a lot of them are kids,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are hateful grown-ups, and like you feel like you want to please everybody, and to some extent it has to do with self-preservation. I was assaulted at Yankee Stadium a number of years back. um, I supposedly received death threats after the A-Rod thing. I wasn't able to keep track of or keep up with all the social media, but that first night and that first weekend after I snagged that baseball, I would estimate about 100 Twitter mentions per minute, like just
Wow.
for 24 to 48 hours during that news cycle. And I couldn't keep up with it. And I had some friends actually tell me, you probably want to stay off Twitter. And they said that they saw death threats. So it's like, how do things get so crazy when what I do is I go to games and I catch baseballs? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of, I hate to throw this term around because it sounds stupid when other people do it, but there is a lot of fake news,
Oh, 100%.
and there's no accountability for people who just make stuff up and lie.
And that's the
So
hard part about, I mean, being on like Twitter. I mean, especially Twitter, because you get like the burner accounts that just will say the most like mean and like hurtful things. And I mean, like you said, like the accountability on it, like there is no accountability for it.
yeah, um, I've blocked probably like 2,000 accounts on Twitter, maybe more by now.
Oh wow.
And I've there have been a few nights when I just stayed up for hours and blocked hundreds of people. Um,
Yeah. See,
it's
no one should have to do that. That's
Yeah, and well, and it's not that like it's not like, oh, boo hoo, my feelings are hurt. But if
yeah,
people are just really being hostile and untruthful, I just don't need that on my timeline because what I do is very positive.
yeah,
And it's like, and I'm sure there's people out there that are like, oh, Zack Hample is soft. He blocked me because I called him a pussy or like whatever it is. But it's like, I just don't need negativity in my life. In my own personal life, I live an extremely drama-free existence.
yeah,
And I try to lead with kindness, and I recognize warmth from people probably before I recognize anything else.
for sure.
And I don't need that kind of negativity following me online. So like it's people are not automatically entitled to follow me on Twitter. I mean, they can, but if they're really nasty or untruthful, I'll block them, and there's just like a little less negativity for me to deal with. So that's how I approach it.
So yeah, because in 2018, like when I was down in Miami, I'd say because I live up in Washington State, so like when I lived down there, I bought season tickets like to the Marlins, and then from like what you do, like inspired me to go to games early, like to try and I like just to try and get baseballs, and it's and then like the part of about it like that I enjoyed was catching them and then giving them away like to little kids like who who would try inning after inning like to get one, and I would just like hand them out, and then like just to see like a smile like on their face is is worth it.
I hear you. Yeah. So I guess that means you were successful and you managed to snag a bunch, huh?
Oh, I mean I was up over 50, and that was, I mean, like for me,
Okay.
like not being able to, I guess like never trying to get baseballs games before. I mean I felt like that I did pretty well.
Yeah, that's really solid. And if you said that kids were trying inning after inning, I guess you got some game used third out balls tossed
Yep.
up.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, those are special, rubbed up with mud, an
Yep.
actual gamer. And there's
Always.
lots of people out there that they criticize me for getting baseballs and giving them to kids. It's like if you're going to give them away, then why not just, like don't even go for the balls and let the kids catch them? And it's just like, okay, you can't please anybody. Like you try to do
No.
a nice thing and it's still not nice enough. So again, I just try to live my life, do my thing. It's very positive, and there's always going to be haters. I mean, one of my favorite quotes is from Reggie Jackson, who said, "Fans don't boo nobodies." So
That's facts.
when I have people who are really getting on me, I try to channel my inner Reggie a little bit and remember those words. I part of me wants to be loved by everybody, but the other part of me realizes it's just not realistic. And in this day and age, when unfortunately the default behavior for so many people is one of anger and hostility, I just try to tune it out as best I can and move on.
Say, and you do an absolute amazing job at like bringing like happiness and joy like across baseball. I mean because I see like the positivity on it, and that's
So
it's amazing, awesome.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Hey, yeah, it's I mean because there's a lot of people that that are trying to figure out ways like to create like their own platform like to do that, and then your platform, it's like you can reach a lot of people.
Thanks. Yeah, so far so good. You're being so nice to me. I feel like I need to hear something bad from you to bring me down
Bad?
to earth a little bit.
Okay, let's see. I have to balance this out. Okay, so let's say All your baseballs are in a fire. Yeah, sorry.
You
And
had to go
then,
there.
so let's see. If you couldn't pick the Shea Stadium one, which one would you pick? But wait, that one's on fire too. So you can only keep half the baseball. Which one would you keep?
Wait, I can only keep half a baseball?
Well, yeah, because they're all burnt. So
Or
sorry.
or is the scenario that I can only keep one, but it can't be the Shea one? I don't know.
Uh, not the Shea, but all the rest of the baseballs are on fire. But you know where the other one is that you want.
Maybe I would save my 10,000th baseball.
I could, yeah, that
I
would
was thinking
that'd be
maybe I
cool.
caught a Derek Jeter home run,
Ooh,
um, which was number 254 of his career hit number 3262, I believe. And I'm not a Yankee fan. I actually grew up as a Mets fan, but I don't have a favorite team. So I appreciate greatness no matter where it is. So yeah, I mean, I
yeah.
always loved Jeter. Um, Maybe that one, but the 10,000th ball is certainly not it wouldn't be a hot item on eBay, but for me personally, I think that would probably mean the most.
I think that would be a hot item o- on eBay. I personally think so.
I mean, I think it might sell for a few $100s, but not a few
I would buy
thousand.
it. I would buy it for sure.
I mean, it's a game used ball with a commemorative Camden Yards 25th anniversary logo, and it's autographed by Robinson Cano, which
Ooh,
at the time was cool, and now it's less cool. But just a game used commemorative baseball is always going to get a decent amount of money, and yeah, I'm famous, but not that famous, so I don't think it's a big. I don't think it would be that big of an item.
no, it's I have learned by doing like these podcasts. I make that everyone's a normal person, but some have really badass jobs.
I do feel like I have a dream job.
Oh,
I
100,000%.
and I wish that I could spend less time editing, and by less time I mean no time. So that's kind of a goal, is to amass a team of editors, and then I really don't have to do it, because I have no free time right now during the season.
Mhm.
So that's tough. But I mean, going to baseball games and trying to be entertaining on camera and being a collector and getting to meet a lot of people, like that's pretty good, setting my own schedule, and
Yeah.
it's hard to explain this to people that I meet who don't know anything about me, or who are older than me and just don't understand the whole world of YouTube and being a digital creator. And I'll say that I make YouTube videos full time, and they're just like, you mean like you make money doing that? And I'm just like, oh. Even
Yeah.
dating is difficult because people my age just don't get it.
Yeah.
You put YouTuber as your job on some dating app, and I feel like everybody's gonna swipe left, and it's like, no, you people don't understand.
I literally have a dream job that thousands and thousands of people want.
Yeah. So I try to appreciate that and not take it for granted. And it's gotten to the point where I take 5 months off every year now, pretty much. I mean, the season ends, and it's like, all right, what do I actually want to do with my life now for, until the season starts in April? And like, I just posted a new video today. It was a Q&A video. And sure, that took some time, but it's like, I'm basically off. So it's nice. I actually wish there were more to do right now. Obviously, COVID being such a mess, but I definitely need this off season to recharge, just because I go
Yeah.
so hard during the season itself.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, so out of 162 games, like, how many games do you go to?
Um, I think of it more of like 180 games, just because that's how long the season is. It's
True.
180 days, really, like April 1st through October or through September. There's at least, and while every team isn't playing every day, there still are games every day, and I travel around so much. So it's like, out of 180 days, I'll probably go to games about half the time. I went to
Wow.
101 games this past season, but a bunch were in October. I've been to as many as, I think, 131 is my high for a season.
That's a lot of baseball games.
I would actually like to go to fewer games.
Really?
Um, yeah, I mean, like, it's just not really fun anymore to go to games in New York, and I live in New York. It's just so
Yeah.
crowded, it's so strict, fans are really arrogant and hostile, and it's not a good environment. And really, I'm gonna judge things based on if I can catch baseballs, and it's like, if there's no room to run, and I'm just trapped in the outfield with, like, people on either side of me, I
Yeah.
don't feel like I have a good chance to catch baseballs, and it's like, well, I could stay home and watch it and save money and get a better view, or maybe just do something else entirely, like take a yoga class or go to a nice restaurant or see a friend, or I don't know. So I feel like it's gonna get to the point where I may stop going to games if I'm not doing a video. 'Cause
What
I went to, like, 40 Yankee games last year, but I probably only did videos at, like, 10 of them. So, like, maybe I just take those extra 30 nights off and get away from baseball, because it's like,
I say do it.
when I was 14 and, you know, in that age range, like, I was angry if I wasn't at a baseball game, like, I just couldn't function,
Yeah.
and life got in the way of baseball, and now it's getting to the point where baseball is getting in the way of life. So I'm really struggling to find the right life work baseball balance. And even if I go to 100 games a year, it's like, well, there's still 265 days when I'm not at a baseball game. Like, it's plenty of time to do other stuff. And I'm trying to figure that out for myself still. So I think I'm going to go hard next year with this again. I might go to another
Mhm.
100 games. There's a documentary about me that's supposed to come out in the spring,
Oh,
and I just
wow.
want to ride that momentum and have a big season and promote it. But I don't know, after that, like 2023, depending on where things go next year, I might slow the pace down, or maybe I'll go to 200 games. I have no idea.
200 games. That oh, man.
I would love to. Listen,
That
if
would be
somebody,
amazing.
if I had like a private plane,
Oh,
or,
yeah.
you know, like one of those luxury buses that's, you know, like a tour bus kind of situation with the driver, and I could sleep on it and just wake up in another city, and I
Yep.
had someone making the plans, like booking everything, flights and hotels and rental cars, and just being like, yep, you just show up and it's all set, and we're going to film it, we're going to edit it. Yeah, I'd go to 200 games in a season. Why not?
So, yeah, it's I mean, like, for living, like, up here, like, in the Northwest, and say, besides Seattle, like, the closest one would be, I believe, Oakland, and that's like a 9-hour,
Yeah,
10-hour
that's
drive.
a bit much for a day trip.
Yeah. Say it's, say, I think, the first week of August, or the weekend, is, the, Ichiro retirement weekend up here in Seattle.
I might
The
have to come for that.
yes. I was gonna say, you have to come up here for that. That would be so much fun.
Yeah, I might. I mean, you know, teams often use commemorative baseballs when they're celebrating a player. They did for Edgar Martinez back
Yes.
in 2019, I think.
Yep.
So,
I was
yeah,
up there for that.
and Ichiro's one of my faves. So, you know, it's a long flight. It's like 6 hours from New York,
Yeah.
but this is what I do. So I may have to get myself there, but the travel is exhausting. I mean, it is a dream job, but it is also tiring, and the travel definitely weighs on me. So
It
I have
it's
to.
definitely a trade-off, I feel. I feel that it's a solid trade-off.
Yeah, and especially now having to wear a face mask on an airplane for 6 hours, it's just,
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'm not one of those anti-mask idiots that's gonna protest, and I'm certainly not gonna get myself put on the no-fly list or anything. But like, I'm
That would
not happy to sit there wearing a mask.
that would change your
So,
career real quick.
yeah, not for the better. So
No. Say, do ho as I guess, like, how long do you think that you will be, doing this?
I think I'll probably always do it to some extent, but I don't know that I can keep this pace going of 100 games a year or 60 videos a year. Like, it may be a situation, especially if hopefully someday I have a family, where maybe I'll just go out for like a week at a time, just once a month, and film like crazy in those weeks, and maybe take the family with me, make it a whole thing so I'm not gone from my loved ones. But, I mean, I could go film for a week and then spread those videos out over the month, post them every, you know, 4, 5, 6 days as needed. And because right now I'm posting videos every 3 days, maybe on average over the
Mhm.
course of the season, but I could do less. Like I would rather, I know this is like a crazy thing to say in this day and age, but I would rather earn less money and have more sanity and happiness.
Yes. Yep. I have
So,
I've learned that the older that I got, that I have learned that, and that's I mean, like, once you figure that out, life feels life
yeah,
feels a lot
I mean,
better.
I could be going hard right now this whole off season and churning out content and filming videos, opening baseball cards and playing MLB The Show and analyzing free agent signings and doing videos on my favorite stadiums and my favorite food. And like, I can't. I'm protecting my own mental health. I think I'm going to have a
Yep.
longer career doing this if I structure longer periods of time off, especially during the off season. So, I mean, baseball, it's cool if you just want to follow it year round because there's always stuff. But
Yeah.
I, when I was first doing the YouTube thing, like 2016 was my first big year, and I was teaching myself how to edit, and I wanted to do it 12 months a year. I was filming weekly vlogs in New York City during the off season, and it's just like, man, I can't do that. I'm going to burn myself out. So I'm just trying to be more chill and thoughtful about the whole process. And I still have a long way to go in terms of figuring it out.
Say say so, one of my buddies, because I told him, like, that I'm gonna have you, like, on my podcast, and he was excited for me, and then he was like, "Dude, you have to ask him a question for me."
All right,
So
let's do
so,
it.
like to my buddy Randy Fuller, he said
Randy.
he was like, "Okay, so do you think that if you sold every baseball that you own, that you could retire comfortably?"
No, not if I want to live in New York City.
True. That is true.
I mean, I've also given away thousands of baseballs. Like if I were
Yeah.
doing this for the money, I wouldn't be generous.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still have thousands of baseballs because I kept everything early on in my collection. And there's commemorative balls that are worth more. And there's a lot of game home run balls, including some historic ones, like, just even a Juan Soto home run, not a milestone, but it's like, that's going to be worth a lot someday. It's probably already worth
Yeah.
a lot. But no, like if I had kept the A-Rod 3000th hit and Mike Trout's first career home run, I mean,
Oh,
just
man.
the Trout ball by itself would sell for millions of dollars right now, I think.
I believe it.
So that, I mean, I already threw away my retirement, which, I mean, I don't regret it. Like I'm
Yeah.
in a good spot financially. I have savings. I'm doing well with the YouTube stuff. I take a lot of time off now every year. I own my apartment in New York City. Like it's good. I'm not complaining. But yeah, do I wish I had a few extra million laying around that I could, do fun things with?
I
Yeah,
I think we all I think we all want a few $1,000,000 just to hang out with.
but I want to buy the property that my parents had out on Long Island when I was a kid. I miss that place, but it's selling for a lot of, I don't even know if it's on the market right now, but a few years ago it was, and it was like, ooh, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Pretty
So
pricey out there.
yeah, it is
Wow.
definitely.
Well, I have one more question for you, and then that concludes this. One more question because you mentioned it.
Let's do it.
What is your favorite food that you've had at an MLB stadium?
That's a good one. I love talking about food and I love eating food.
Yeah.
Um, my general, this is going to be a two-part answer. My general way of answering this question is I love the experience of being in the Legends section at Yankee Stadium,
Ooh.
where everything is all inclusive. Once you've spent $1,000 or whatever on your ticket, yeah, I mean, it's unlimited and quote unquote free, and it's very high quality stuff. So I love that. But favorite single food item? Uh man. I think for sheer excess, I would go with a now discontinued item,
Okay.
which was at it was then called SunTrust Park in Atlanta. Now it's Truist.
Mhm.
But the first year of that stadium, I got this thing called the Burgeritza,
Hmm.
which was a large, I think it was like a 16 or maybe even a 20-ounce bacon cheeseburger
Oh,
in
damn.
between two pepperoni pizzas.
What?
And it cost like 25 or 30 bucks. Yeah, it was, I mean,
Honestly, that's worth it. That is worth that.
yeah, I mean, it's enough calories probably for a family of 4 for a day. And my videographer and I attacked it together and we still couldn't finish it. Um,
Wow.
and it wasn't even the highest quality food in the world. You know, it's ballpark food, whatever, but it was just so fun.
Yeah.
And I run around so much during the season at stadiums that I mean, I almost can't even gain weight if I try. The calories just melt right off of me. So I definitely eat like a dumbass at games. I have to be more careful during the off season. And actually, I'm pretty damn near close to being vegetarian right
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah, I've been eating way less meat in general. Um, I've gone to some vegan meetups recently, and I love vegan food. I've dated vegans. I would happily do that again. So I've been very health conscious, you know, off camera. But when you're at stadiums, there really aren't too many healthy items,
Yeah.
and you know, all the kids out there don't want to see me drink like a kale smoothie at a stadium. They want to see me eat the burgeritas. So I'm a man of the people. I do what they want, but I'm increasingly less interested in eating garbage like that. But it's fun every now and then, right? Everything in moderation.
That's what they say, at least.
Yeah, I'm bad at moderation, but again, that's one of the many things in life that I'm working on.
Hey, that works. Zach, thank you so much for coming on.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me. Glad to chat and talk baseball in the middle
That's
of
what
the
I'm
off season.
saying. It's I'm ready for baseball to be back. But yeah, there's a lot of things that have to happen before that happens.
Yeah, what a mess. What
Yep.
a mess. The world is a mess. Major League Baseball is a mess. So hopefully there'll be some normalcy coming our way before long.
That's what I'm saying. All right, well have a great rest of your night.
Hey man, you too. Thanks again for your time. I appreciate it.
All right, bye.